first I want you to give your name, spell your name, and tell us the city that you're located in.
My name is Chiquita Savoy. That's Chiquita I'm from Clinton, Maryland.
Okay, we're going to start. Now, I'm going to ask you to say, diabetes is called is the silent killer, and for me, it's personal. And then you're going to tell how you discovered you had diabetes, and how you didn't know you had it, the whole story with the beach on Jamaica, bam. And then when I do this, you're winding that down, I'm going to ask you another question. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You're going to say, diabetes is called a silent killer, and for me, it was personal.
Diabetes is called a silent killer, and for me, it's personal. It's personal because I didn't know I had it, and how I found out was from a friend. We were in Jamaica having a bachelorette party, and one of my girlfriends there was diabetic. She proceeded to bring out her testing kit, and we all was asking questions about it. So later on, I don't know how we got into making a game out of it. We made a game out of it by her testing everybody to see what their sugar levels were. And of course, mine was the highest. I won. It was 300. And at that point, she urged me to talk to my doctor and told me that I was diabetic. And I didn't believe her because I didn't have any symptoms. I wasn't sick. I didn't feel any different than I did any other day. But when we got back to the States, I did talk to my doctor about it. And I actually had to force him to test me because he didn't believe that I was diabetic. So eventually he did test me, and of course I was diabetic. And that's how it started.
Diabetes has often been said a disease that has target organ damage. Tell us your experience about the organ that perhaps diabetes impacted your life.
Well, with me, diabetes had attacked my kidneys. We didn't know about it until later on, and it was so bad that eventually I had to have a kidney transplant. So it's been a year since my kidney transplant.
Was your kidney transplant successful?
Oh yes, definitely.
How did you get a kidney so quick?
My husband actually tested, and he was a match, and he gave me his kidney.
How has your life changed since you discovered that you had diabetes?
It's been very difficult trying to keep up with the medication, trying to keep your sugar levels where they're supposed to be, your eating habit, the diet, the exercise. I mean, it's just difficult to do that and to take care of your family, work, and do your everyday living.
It is said that a lot of times African Americans and other people do not take an interest or advocacy in their own health. Tell us a little bit about the adversarial relationship you had with your first doctor and why you had to change.
When my first doctor, he treated me like I was nothing. And I didn't understand at first why, he talked to me the way he did. He would talk down to me. He would basically tell me stuff like, you need to go on a diet, you need to lose, 10, 15 pounds. This is the only way that you would be able to control your diabetes. It wasn't until I found out about the diabetes pump that I went to him and realized, why wasn't this information provided to me? My diabetes was so bad that my A1C was 16. And any information or any product out there that can help with that, I felt that he should have made that information known. And when I discussed with him about the pump, he basically was brushing me off and basically just threw the stuff at me. It was like, here, choose from one of these companies with your pump. It wasn't until the representative from the company that I chose the pump from, she worked with him for many years, and she told me that he didn't like that type 2 diabetes patient, that he felt that we were lazy and that we can control it with our diet or with exercise. And by mine being as bad as it was, that I was just lazy. And so
Tell me a little bit about your pump. Would you mind showing the
Sure.
audience your pump? Tell us about the mechanics of the pump. Tell us how it works. And
The pump works by putting insulin into this little tube here. It's attached to my body. I have to change location every 3 days. So you can put, mine is on the side of me. You can put it on your thigh. You can put it on your arm. You can put it on your stomach. And what it does is my doctor sets the control about how many units of insulin that I receive per hour. Right now I'm receiving 2.25 units per hour. And how it works is when I test my blood, my machine reads to the pump, tells the machine what my blood levels are, and then when I get ready to eat, I put in my carbs, and it calculates how much insulin that I will receive.
so is this hardwired or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth?
It's
or-
probably Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to connect to the pump. I'm not sure how it connects to it, but it connects to the pump, and it reads whenever I take my blood sugar. And it lets the pumps know if it's too high, I get a message saying to check my ketone levels because it's over or something. And your doctor actually put in for you personally if it's too, if like mine is 90, anything under 90 is low for me. Anything over 180 is high for me. So it's adjusted. The doctor adjusted. And it actually saved my life because you get so caught up with work. Like with me, I work 9.5-hour shifts. It's hard for me to, in between meetings and projects, to stop and give myself my shots with the syringe or whatever. I still have to check my blood sugar, which is easier now because I don't have to still do the shots. I'm constantly getting my insulin, so I don't have to worry about that. Before, I would miss. I would go 2-3 days without giving myself a shot because I get caught up with everyday life. Getting home from work, doing homework with the kids, cooking. Next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock. And that's the time I get to check my insulin, is late at night. So with this, I don't have to worry about, did I give myself my shot? I just have to make sure to check my blood sugar.
Okay, we're gonna have a little change of pace here. I want you to look at the camera.
Okay.
You're gonna say, "Hi, my name is blank, and I support the Diabetes Awareness Project Testimonial Program because," and just to give a brief, say that, you know, diabetes is a silent killer. I didn't know I had it. You should be tested. You know, something like that.
Okay, that was a lot.
No, but that's okay. My name, give your name and tell people that you support the Diabetes Awareness Project, with the program to test 1 million people for diabetes because, bam,
Okay.
don't watch the camera.
Okay. My name is Chiquita Savoy. I support the diabetes test.
The Diabetes Awareness Project.
Okay. My name is Chiquita Savoy. I support the diabetes awareness program to test 1 million because it's a silent killer. People are walking around and don't even know that they have diabetes. If you just get tested, it's better to know than not know.
Bam. Okay.
Okay.
before-
Got to do it again?
Second thing, she gotta look at the camera.
She
She came to you crew too quick.
Okay,
Okay. So do it slow.
that was good.
Look at the
That
camera.
was good. That was great.
Do it again.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Chiquita Savoy, and I support the Diabetes Awareness Test 1 Million program because it's a silent killer, and people are walking around don't even know that they have diabetes. If you get tested, it's better to know than not to know. That's it.
Did she look at you too quick again?
I did? Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
stay,
she wants you to just.
Don't
stay look at the camera. Okay. My mouth is dry.
You're up next, Don.
Because I ain't gonna be able to hit that transition.
I know. That was great, though.
Let's take a deep breath.
Hi, my name is Chiquita Savoy, and I support the Diabetes Awareness Test 1 Million program because diabetes is a silent killer. It's best to get tested and know what your status is than not to know.
Perfect.
The insulin is inside here, and I draw the insulin in, and it's connected to my body. And I change sites every 3 days. You can put it on your side, you can put it on your thigh, you can put it in your stomach.
They put a shot on.
Yeah, it's like an IV. It's like a needle, and you pull the needle out, so it's just a tube left in there. And the medicine is in here, and actually the pump is set to whatever your doctor wants. For me, I receive 2.25 units per hour, and the machine. Do you want to talk about it or just
Yeah,
show
can
you?
talk about it, talk about the process.
I usually I try to switch up on fingers because I noticed that I was doing one finger all the time, so it gets kind of hard. So I usually just clean it with a alcohol swab. I put that in. I actually had to get a new stick because mine wasn't working. I just got this Monday. So, and then mine's is set on 4. And I usually just stick
Hold your
this
finger
out.
So you can get a close up of that blood.
Okay, hold that thing for a second. Okay, can I just fake the shot of you doing that again?
Okay.
You don't have
Like,
to
You don't
break
have,
it,
you
but
don't, no, just fake it. You can go.
Okay. like that.
Uh-huh.
And it's-
No, you got to touch
Oh.
it.
Oh,
Make it look real.
there's no if I'm gonna touch the blood.
You touch the blood.
Yeah, but do it on another finger, but don't.
Okay, so
Just do it.
I'll let this. I have to change my needle.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, I have to. If I stick myself again, I have to change the needle. And this is how you put the needle in. And there you.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so now. Oops.
It's gonna be quick. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, but you didn't say no snoring on the set.
Yeah, this is joint.
So I can go ahead and do it now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. All right, good.
So now the machine is reading.
Can you show us the read, what it digitally read out?
Yes.
Can we do a close-up on what the reading was?
It's 254, and that's pretty high for me, but
Can you get
I
a
got it,
close-up on?
yeah.
Could you hold that for a second?
Sure.
Hold it so you can.
Is it still showing?
Yeah,
254.
Now, I want you to speak to that. Tell us that your reading is 254. Tell us that it's a little high, but tell us why. Did you eat or?
Okay.
Yeah.
My blood sugar level was tested at 254, and that is kind of high for me. But I took my medicine this morning, and one of the medicines that I take is steroid, which increases my blood level, my blood sugar. That medication is another thing you need to make sure that your doctors, or if you see different doctors and whatever medication they give you, to make sure that your diabetes doctor know, because certain medication can make your blood sugar rise, in which one of the medication I take makes my blood sugar rise. So for me, she increases my insulin in the morning because of that, because she knows I take the steroids in the morning, so she increases my insulin to cover that.
Okay, your final word. Your word of wisdom to the public about diabetes and the silent killer. Why should everybody get tested? And why should everybody join the Diabetes Awareness Testimonial Program?
You definitely need to be tested so you can be aware of what's going on. I mean, you can be walking around and not even know that that you have diabetes, and the diabetes is going to be affecting your organs like kidney. Like, for example, with me, I didn't know I had diabetes. I could have been having it for years, and it could have been affecting my kidneys all the time. So later on, when I did find out, it was too late for me, and I eventually had to have a kidney transplant. So definitely get tested and talk to your doctor and come up with a treatment plan that works for you.
Touchdown. Thank you. Very good. Give your name and spell your name and the name of your practice.
My name is Frederick Clark. I'm Dr. Frederick Clark, DDS, Fredrick Clark.
You're located where, sir?
I'm located at 6188 Oxon Hill Road, Suite 604 in Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Okay, we're getting ready to start now.
Okay.
You know, diabetes has been called a silent killer, and for me it's personal. My name is blank and bam.
Okay.
You all right?
Repeat that.
All right. Diabetes is often called a silent killer, and for me it's personal. My name is Dr. Frederick Clark, DDS, and I've got diabetes. And then we're just going to start talking.
Okay. Diabetes is often called a silent killer, and for me, it's personal. My name is Dr. Frederick Clark. The reason,
Take. I heard some stuff.
Huh?
Take.
Okay. Bam. Start again.
diabetes is often. I did stutter. Okay. Start again. Yeah. Diabetes is often called a silent killer, and for me, it's personal. My name is Dr. Frederick Clark. The reason that it's personal for me is that diabetes has been a part of my family for over 40 years. I've been a diabetic myself for at least 30 years. I actually,
Hold that. Dr. Bryson?
Yes.
A silent killer. For me it's personal.
diabetes has often been called a silent killer, and for me, it's personal. My name is Dr. Frederick Clark. I have had diabetes in my family for almost 50 years. I personally have had diabetes for almost 30 years. For me, it's been personal because I was diagnosed with diabetes shortly after getting out of dental school. I was asked to go take my examinations to get my dental license, and once I went to the doctor, drew blood, they called me and told me that I had high blood sugar readings, high triglyceride readings, high cholesterol readings. And at the time I was about 25 years old. I didn't think that it would have affected me so early, but since my mother had died from diabetes at age 49, I wasn't really surprised, but I was surprised that it occurred so early in my life because I was a person who was very active. I exercised a lot. I thought I was eating right, but the disease affected me anyway. For many years after being diagnosed with diabetes, I had initially tried to control it with diet, and slowly over a period of about 5 years, I went from a point of taking oral medications to a point of being placed on insulin. My blood sugar would be controlled with oral medications, pills, for 3 to 4 years, and got to a point where the pills stopped working altogether. The doctor ended up putting me on insulin. One of the interesting things about it was that also I couldn't even get health insurance because at 25 I was already diagnosed as a diabetic. So I had to pay for diabetic supplies, meaning insulin and syringes and whatnot, and it was very expensive for a young person just coming out of dental school. But what's more significant about it being of a personal nature is that after taking insulin for nearly 20 some odd years, some things that occur with diabetes as far as complications had to begin to occur with me early. When I turned 42 years old after having diabetes for almost 17 years, all of a sudden I'm in the hospital and I'm having open heart surgery. At the time that I had open heart surgery, I was actually going to the gym, working out with a personal trainer. I was bench pressing about 250 pounds. And I thought I was in very healthy shape. What I came to realize was that the conditions that occur with diabetes, the hypertension, the high triglycerides, high cholesterol, these things were still causing problems with my body. It was still causing problems with my chemistry, and I ended up getting 3 clogged arteries, which resulted in me having triple bypass heart surgery. I'm now 55 years old. I'm happy to say that we had the surgery, and I've continued to try to live my life in a better manner and try in terms of eating right and monitoring my disease. But the diabetes still is something that I have to be very judicious about keeping control of my blood sugar readings. I take insulin on a daily basis. I take cholesterol medication. I take medication for blood pressure. And hopefully through this campaign, more people will become aware of the problems associated with diabetes. They'll become more aware of why they need to be tested, why they need to know, and those complications and the early implications of mortality and morbidity that are associated with diabetes.
Diabetes and the practice of dentistry, gum disease, tooth loss. Tell us a little bit about that, the connectivity between diabetes, vascular disease, tooth loss, gum disease.
Being in the dental field, a lot of years of research have gone into looking at what impact diabetes has on oral disease and vice versa. What impact does oral disease, particularly periodontal disease, have on diabetes? And what we've found is that people who are diabetic have a tendency towards having worsening conditions related to periodontal disease, bone loss, early tooth loss, and if we're either wearing dentures or having to have reconstructive oral surgery to take care of missing teeth. On the other hand, if you look at the what is the relationship of diabetes to our relationship of periodontal disease to diabetes, it is known that the bacteria that resides in the oral cavity when one has periodontal disease, these bacteria are contributing to what we call inflammation in the vascular chain. They cause an increase of cardiovascular disease because when you have inflammation in the vascular chain, you also get buildup of cholesterol, and that can contribute to heart disease, to stroke, and to a person's having early mortality from those things.
Question, you'd indicate, tell us a little bit about the prejudice that there is in this whole notion of diabetes management and control between folk who have type 1 and type 2.
As I found out through work with the American Diabetes Association and through some of my reading about how, from a societal standpoint, diabetes is viewed. There is type 1 diabetes, which is called juvenile diabetes, versus type 2 diabetes, which is called adult onset. There are two different camps in that regard. In other words, juvenile diabetes is considered a disease that occurs out of one's control because it is something which is from birth, whereas type 2 diabetes is considered something which is caused by lifestyle choices. Generally, those who are in the camp of type 1 diabetes being out of one's control tend to have a feeling that those people who have type 2 diabetes could avoid getting the disease. Now, what that does in terms of research dollars are more geared towards how do we address finding the cures for type 1 diabetes versus those people who have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, are contributing to the high cost of health care in this country in terms of dealing with the disease process. In other words, there are a lot of doctors, a lot of people in health care who have an attitude that if people would just eat right and exercise and look at portion size and that sort of thing, that they could better control these diseases as opposed this condition, type 2 diabetes, as opposed to someone who has type 1. So there is a bias and attitude towards people who have type 2 diabetes that they are more contributory to high healthcare costs in this country that don't have to exist.
If you have words of wisdom to the public about how, words of wisdom to the general public, Joe public out there walking around about diabetes and public policy, what should the public, they say about 2050, half of America will have diabetes. What should America do to reverse that trend?
Well, that speaks to...
Now, I want you to say that by the year 2050, CDC says perhaps half of America will have diabetes.
According to the CDC, by 2050, perhaps half of America will have diabetes. And I have to speak to both the general public and to public policy people about the disease, diabetes. Diabetes is a disease which is one that is of both a physiological problem and one of diet. In other words, the lack of understanding of either component is what's causing the disease to proliferate out of control. We have an American diet which basically people start out habitually eating, not understanding that there are a lot of different ways in which we are taught to eat and allowed to eat, but we're not being told from an early standpoint that these ways that we are naturally eating are contributing to disease. From the policy standpoint, we have people who don't quite understand that the disease process is something that is multifactorial, that the general public generally typically doesn't understand. The medical community doesn't have the time or will to educate us. So what I would do in terms of this Test a Million campaign, I'm 100% behind it, because I'm aware of the fact that people are not aware of the fact they have the disease. They don't know how it comes about, when it comes about, if they're susceptible to it. But if we start doing routine testing, we will be able to screen and find a lot of people who are going to develop diabetes a lot earlier, and might be able to help them to learn more about the disease, prevent it from getting to a point where they get into that statistic.
Okay. We're going to finish up. You're going to look in the camera this time. Do you want him to come closer?
Just
And
a
you-
touch closer. Right.
Yeah, and you're going to say, hi, my name is Dr. Fred Clark, and I support the Diabetes Awareness Project Testimonial Program because, make it a minute or less.
I'm gonna look at the
I'm
camera.
going to look at the camera this time, not
I'm
me.
trying to treat how I look past his light to look at the camera. The light's killing me.
Okay, I'll turn it down a little.
Okay. My name is Dr. Frederick Clark, and I support the Test a Million Diabetes campaign. I support this because I think that we need to do more to learn about this disease, find out those individuals who are susceptible, and help to see if we can prevent this condition from occurring in more people. It is creating too many problems with people's lives, mortality, early mortality, heart disease, stroke, a lot of things that are preventable.
Thank you. And we're ready for Miss. First of all, I want you to give your name and spell your name. And if you don't mind, you can talk about your position with the NAACP.
Okay.
Give your name and spell your name.
Okay. My name is Bonita Spikes, Bonnitas, P as in Paul, Ikes, and I'm with the National, no, I'm not with the National, I'm with the State of Maryland, Prince George's NAACP.
Okay. So we're going to start now. You're going to say diabetes has often been called a silent killer. And then tell why it's called a silent killer because, and then you're going to talk about your own personal experience.
Diabetes is often called the silent killer. I know this to be true because I watched from my grandfather down to now my brothers and sisters suffer with it, and they look normal, like nothing was wrong, including myself. For over 20 years, I've been struggling with this disease, ranging from insulin to diet control, and I've had several surgeries because it beats up my organs, and I've had I didn't come close to amputation, but I have to be watched very careful by my podiatrist. My mother looked a picture of health till she died, and it ravaged every organ she had. Her father likewise. My grandfather lived with us because his diabetes ravaged him, and my mom was his caregiver. I now am struggling with neuropathy and nerve issues that are diminishing my capacity. I've actually been told recently I have to go on disability because of my diabetes, not letting my innards heal properly. So I can testify. I have 2 sons with diabetes, and I beg them to really pay close attention and don't go through what my parents and I'm going through. But even when you do right, you cannot sleep on diabetes because it will take you outside. It is silent because you can't tell by looking at a person what's going on inside.
How did you discover that you had diabetes?
Okay, this is really embarrassing. I'm a nurse, a 35-year-old retiree, nurse for 35 years and retired. And knowing I helped my parents, my grandparents, knowing that they had it because I was very athletic and I dieted and everything. Every time I did my labs, they were normal. So I hurt my ankle. I had to be off, and then I had to go to the doctor. So I was gaining weight because I couldn't exercise. And so he did the labs. He said, your blood sugar's like over 400. And I was like, really? I said, it's never. He said, yeah, but maybe because you're not active or what, but we need to monitor you. And that's what kicked it off to tell me, because I didn't test because my labs were always normal because I exercised. My husband and I were very active. so I didn't have to worry because I was staving it off. But it probably would have caught up with me. I'll be 60 next month, and I each year I could see the difference on why it would have crept up on me
Tell me, how do you manage your diabetes now?
with diet. And I just recently lost 50 pounds.
I want you to say, I can now control my diabetes.
Diet and
with
exercise.
Diet and exercise.
Okay.
And then I want you to say, I just
And-
lost 50 pounds, and tell us about that
Oh,
experience.
okay. I now control my diabetes with diet and exercise. When I had my knee replacement, I needed a knee replacement. The doctor said, well, you got to lose the weight. And I said, well, I can't lose the weight with the bad knee. And he said, well, you're going to have to because you're only going to need another knee if you don't lose the weight. So we got a plan in place with calories, intake out, intake in, and we made it work for me. Because it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle you choose to do what you have to do to have longevity, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Hey man, power outage in the building, but we still rolling on. Every morning's a struggle.
Every morning is a struggle. I'm usually a pretty structured person, and I know weeks ahead of time what I'm doing, and I now have to give tentative dates depending on whether my limbs will cooperate with me because of the nerve damage that I'm experiencing due to my diabetes. So it's a struggle. I'm really glad that this campaign is going to bring awareness to people.
What words of wisdom would you have to Joe Citizen walking around 40, 45 years old, no history of diabetes? What would you say to them?
Have a thorough physical every year, and definitely insist on being tested if your doctor hasn't recommended it. I had cataracts on my eyes about 3 years ago, and the doctor not only removed them, he gave me new lenses, and I saw 20/20 for the first time in my life. My diabetes has totally erased that, and they've turned back to now I need progressive lenses again because the diabetes attacked my eyes again. So it really is a serious issue that we need to think about and do something about and have conversations about with our friends and neighbors.
Excellent. This time I want you to turn to the camera and you're going to say, hi, I'm Benita Spikes, and I support the Diabetes Project, Testimillion Project, because.
Hi, I'm Benita Spikes, and I support the Diabetes Awareness Testimillion campaign because I know it's vital that we find out as early as possible to fight this silent killer.
Okay. Did she turn away too quick? Can we do that one more time? And when you finish, you're going to hold it. For
Okay, I should have known that
That's
for
okay.
another. Okay.
That's okay.
Hi, I'm Benita Spikes, and I support the Diabetes Awareness Campaign, Testimillion.
Take 3.
Sorry,
That's how you
now I'm nervous. Hi, I'm Benita Spikes, and I support the Diabetes Testimillion Campaign because I don't know what I said.
That's okay. We can,
I'm
you
so
just-
sorry.
That's all right. Hey, we got tape. It's tapeless. So we got to take another tape. I'm Benita Spikes, and I support the Diabetes Awareness Project Testimillion Program because.
Hi, I'm Benita Spikes, and I support the Diabetes Aware Testimillion Campaign because I know it is vital that we find out about this silent disease as early as possible.
Good. Thank you, Benita.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
First of all, I want you to give us your name and spell your name.
Dr. Rick Bryson, Bryson,
And you are a,
podiatrist,
okay, there's DPM meaning.
Doctor Podiatric Medicine.
Okay, we're going to start now. Why is the Testimillion program for the Diabetes Awareness Project so important? And you're going to say, Testimillion project for the Diabetes Awareness Project is so important because.
Testimillion Project for Diabetes is so important because as a podiatrist, I'm intimately aware of the complications of diabetes, the effect that diabetes has on our human body, and also the toll that it takes on our families and our communities due to cost and associated conditions with treating this condition.
In your practice, what kind of complications do you see that diabetes has on the foot and the toes and the ankles?
Typically with diabetes, there are a myriad of problems. At the high end of the scale would be amputations, which is related to cardiovascular effects that diabetes has, and also the vascular effects on our periphery, be it the circulation into our toes. Typically, individuals can develop something as simple as a ulcer or an ingrown toenail, which tends to, if left untreated, can create increases in inflammation, increases in the rate of infection, and the infection can therefore spread to the bones, which can therefore lead to amputations. So I see quite a bit of conditions that could have been avoided with proper care and early intervention.
People who have diabetes and you know they have diabetes, what recommendations do you give as a doctor in terms of foot care?
Well, one of the main things that I try to do is not separate the foot from the rest of the body. Yes, there are specifics related to foot care, and to address that, I mentioned that it's very important to always monitor your blood sugar. I'm quite amazed at the number of people who know they're diabetic, and when I question them on what their blood sugar readings are oftentimes unsure, and at the very least have not followed their primary care doctor's recommendations of daily blood glucose monitoring. So again, I emphasize to patients that they need to be aware of their blood glucose status, but also there are other lab readings that are very simple that I encourage my patients to be aware of, such as their hemoglobin A1C. And those type things, in my opinion, will make people aware of the fact that they do have diabetes and can make the necessary adjustments in their life. But specifically related to foot care, the various protocol that we ask people to do is something as simple as taking a mirror to look at the bottom of your feet between your toes. And I guess the main point with that is to get individuals to be cognizant that foot problems are one of the leading causes of hospitalizations from diabetic complications. The other tidbit of information we always share with people is be very careful with doing your routine maintenance of your feet, such as cutting toenails and calluses. I often hear individuals mention that they have used a razor to cut their toenails, and patients often ask me about the instrumentation that I use to cut their nails. It's very common for people to ask me, where can they get this instrument? So my response is always, why do you want this instrument? And they will say, because I think I can cut my own toenails. And sometimes that can be okay, but oftentimes there are so many people that I see who tell me they or a loved one tried to do something as simple as clip a toenail, and it led to a simple nick, which ultimately led to other problems.
Foot ulcers. What is the connectivity between foot ulcers and diabetes, and why should we be cautious of foot ulcers with people with diabetes?
Well, a foot ulcer, by definition, is basically a break in the normal skin integrity. Now, what tends to happen with diabetes is that there's a circulatory compromise that causes us to have less circulation in our, what we refer to as our small vessels or our peripheral vessels, than what normally would happen for individuals who did not have diabetes. Now, the problem becomes ulcers tend to develop from areas of pressure, be it something as simple as your shoe rubbing against a part of your toe, or calluses that build up on the bottom of our feet from just pressure, and especially with guys who tend to bear a lot of weight on their forefeet, and which we refer to as the ball of your foot, or under certain areas such as oftentimes it's the under your big toe or your little toe. And those are increased areas of pressure, and ulcers tend to develop in areas of increased pressure. So the scenario is that one develops a callus, and due to the lack of addressing that callus with either having it trimmed professionally or addressed with alleviation of pressure, one continues to walk and bear weight on that area, and there's a intrinsic decrease of the protective layer under your skin. And the thing with diabetics as it relates to foot is that there's a protective mechanism that is basically under our skin that tends to become compromised. And when that happens, the pressure, there's a lack of a protective mechanism, so that once a ulcer develops, it's more apt to become infected due to that lack of that protective mechanism.
Tell us about diabetes and amputation in 1 minute. What's the connectivity between diabetes and the need for amputations, and how can we prevent it?
Yes, according to most statistics, diabetes accounts for 25 to 31% of infections related to the foot. Oftentimes those infections are quite costly to have addressed. So the connection is that there's a high economic component to treating diabetic ulcers, and it's best to prevent or have them treated as in a timely manner.
Thank you. Now you're going to give your public service announcement. You're going to look directly into the camera and say, "Hi, I'm Dr. Rick Bryson, podiatrist, and I support the Diabetes Testimonial Program because."
Yes, I'm Dr. Rick Bryson, and I support the Diabetes Testimonial Project because it is very needed in our community. A number of people are literally walking time bombs because they have a condition and a disease that is causing some problems in their system, whether they have symptomatology or not. When you have diabetes, you have a condition, and that creates a problem. So the Testimonial Project will make more people aware of the fact that they do have diabetes, because early intervention is a key to preventing further complications. Thank you.
Touchdown. I'm using. First of all, give us your name and spell your name and tell us where you're from.
Thomas Russick, Shadyside, Maryland.
Did you spell your name, sir?
Russek.
Okay, we getting ready to start.
Okay.
Could it,
Okay, give us your name and tell us how long you've had diabetes and what diabetes has done and how it's changed your life.
My name's Thomas Russick, Russek. I'm from Shadyside, Maryland.
Okay.
And
Okay, you're gonna say, my
right.
name is Thomas Russick. You don't have to give your.
Okay.
Just say, my name is Thomas Russick from Shadyside, Maryland, and diabetes has changed my life because, man.
My name's Thomas Russick. I'm from Shadyside, Maryland. My diabetes has changed my life in a lot of ways because it's kept me from doing a lot of things that I shouldn't do, and it also you have to watch what you eat and how you eat, and a lot of things that you do, and you also got to continue to exercise continuously, and you also got to watch your feet and everything else. Whenever you take a shower, you make sure you check everything, and you learn to take care of yourself a whole lot better than you would if you didn't have diabetes.
How did you discover you had diabetes, sir?
I had a physical from the insurance, and they called me and says, "You have pre-diabetes." I says, "Uh-oh," and I went to my doctor, and my doctor says, "There is no such thing as pre-diabetes. You have diabetes," and he started treating me right then.
How do you treat diabetes? How do you manage your diabetes?
I manage it with the pills.
What do you take?
I take metformin,
How many
and
times a day?
two times a day.
What milligram dose?
1,000 each in the morning and 1,000 at night.
Has diabetes caused you to have any neuropathy, and if so, talk about the numbness in your fingers, or tell us about the complications diabetes has had on your body.
Whenever you start to get a numbness, you start working on the numbness by taking extra vitamin B, which helps get rid of the numbness and stuff. And you also turn around and exercise more.
Have you ever had any sores on your feet or
Never.
blurred vision?
I had what is it? The water in your eye, and the doctor at the VA treated that with a needle in my eye. I'm not sure whether that was from diabetes or just from old age.
Let me ask you something, sir. How old are you?
70.
Vietnam veteran?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to say, I'm a veteran of Vietnam, and a large number of the VA cases, I mean, you know, and this is
Right.
the fact, the largest single claim
Mhm.
for the Veterans Administration is paid out for diabetes. And talk about the Vietnam era and how it's a lot of people your age now who have diabetes.
Well, a lot of people in the Vietnam era came back, and they came back and did not take care of themselves. So you end up, you had diabetes, or you end up with diabetes because we weren't knowledgeable and we didn't take care of ourselves. And the VA actually does take care of the veterans very well with diabetes. And sometimes the waiting lines are long, but other than that, it's they do take care of us, and they work with us. And I wish some of the veterans that aren't going into the VA that has diabetes should go into the VA and start to be taken care of.
Were you drafted?
No,
What branch of the service?
Navy.
Okay. I mean, what part of service were you in? Did you have any shore duty in Saigon, or were you on the big destroyer or battleship?
I was on ships.
Okay.
Okay,
What
so
ship were you stationed?
actually I was on a minesweeper there.
Oh, okay.
So.
What words of wisdom would you give to the general public about diabetes? They call it a silent killer. I want you to say they call diabetes a silent killer because it doesn't have symptoms. I encourage people to get checked out, especially folk my age, something like that. Bam.
The normal public should take and watch their weight and exercise and pay attention to the symptoms of diabetes, because if not, you're in big trouble.
Bam. I like that. Anything else we want to ask him? Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Brandy, Brandy, Garrett, Garrett.
And where are you from?
I live at 704
No, don't give them your address. 'Cause
Oh,
just
okay.
tell them the city that you live in.
La Plata.
Okay. And so when we start, you're gonna say, "My name is Brandy so and so, and I live in La Plata, and I've got type 2 diabetes," and then tell how you discovered you had diabetes and how it's changed your life.
Okay.
And you're gonna watch me.
Okay.
Ready, set.
I found out
Now, first of all, you're gonna say, "My name is Brandy
my name is Brandy Garrett,
from."
La Plata.
Okay, so start that. My name is Brandy Garrett from La Plata, and I've got type 2 diabetes.
And I've got type 2 diabetes.
Okay, start.
Now,
Yeah.
my name is Brandy Garrett. I'm from La Plata, and I have type 2 diabetes.
Okay. How did you discover you had diabetes?
I had pancreatitis, and we couldn't figure out why
Say that again.
pancreatitis.
So you're
I-
gonna say I had pancreatitis and I couldn't figure out what it was like.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I have chronic pancreatitis. So no, for a year I was almost in the hospital for almost a year, and nobody could figure out, you know, where it was coming from. And then it turned out to be type 2 diabetes.
How do you treat your diabetes? How do you manage your diabetes from day to day?
I tried just to eat right. The medication, I can't take it. It drops my sugar low to where I can't. I sweat. I break out cold. You know what I mean?
Why would you recommend that people, everyday people walking around, get tested for diabetes?
Because my husband's father is dying from diabetes. He went into a diabetic coma. He came out of it, but yeah, I mean, you got to take care of it. I took care of him.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bless you.
Give that contact.
Did we get
Do that last part because of that.
what? Eric from La Plata.
My name is Brandy Garrett from La Plata. BrandyGarrett.
Okay, you're gonna start again. You're not gonna spell it this time. I'm Brandy Garrett from La Plata, and I've got type 2 diabetes, and this is how it impacted my life.
My name is Brandy Garrett. I'm from La Plata, and I have type 2 diabetes, and it came from pancreatitis. And I just watch my diet because the medication. Tell them shut up.
No, my name is Brandon. I'm scared of you.
Go. My name is Brandy Garrett.
My
I'm from
name-
La Plata, and I've got type 2 diabetes. And
I'm gonna do it fast. Brandy Garrett from La Plata, Maryland. I have type 2 diabetes.
Calm down. Calm down.
that's all right.
We're
I'll
gonna
go
get this
over there.
done.
I ain't got
We know you will.
We got to get it smooth. So
Okay.
just relax and say my name is Brandy Garrett and I'm from La Plata and I have type 2 diabetes. Just relax and say that. Okay.
And then we did. Okay. Good.
Brandy Garrett, La Plata, Maryland. I have type 2 diabetes, and it's caused from pancreatitis. I watch what I eat because the medication drops my sugar way too low.
Tell us a little bit about his father.
His father almost
say my
died.
my
My husband's father almost died. He's really bad off with diabetes. He has type 1. He has to have, you know, those, like insulin.
Insulin sticks.
Yeah. Not the sticks, the great
Huh.
big ones. He's really bad off. And I took care of him.
How does diabetes change your life and the life of people who have to take care of people with diabetes?
Lord have mercy. We had to move. We moved to Calvert and then had to move back to La Plata because his mother asked for me to come take care of his dad. And that didn't turn out so hot because he's not the nicest man. So,
What things did she do to take care of you?
What things have you done to
Or
take
eat.
care of your
I-
diabetes in terms of eating and nutrition?
I don't eat much at all. I really don't. Nothing with sugar. Everything's diet. Splenda, stuff like that. Is that good?
That's good. All right, well, thank you very much.
You want?
All right, thank you. Bless you. Appreciate your help.
Let's try that.
Give me your name and spell your name.
Maurice Hunt, Maurice
And your title?
President of the Diabetes Awareness Project.
President and founder.
Okay. President and founder of the Diabetes Awareness Project.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Give his name again.
Your name and your title.
Maurice Hunt, MauriceHunt, President and founder of the Diabetes Awareness Project.
Go ahead and read the question. I got it.
We ready? My name is Maurice Hunt. I'm the president and founder of the Diabetes Awareness Project. It's great. Oh, you ready?
Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get everything set.
All right.
Okay.
My name is Maurice Hunt, the president and founder of the Diabetes Awareness Project. Thank you for participating in the Diabetes Awareness Project. As you know, diabetes is an epidemic, not only in the United States, but across the world. In fact, every 7 seconds in the world, someone dies from diabetes or its complications throughout the world. In the United States, 26 million people are affected by diabetes. Diabetes, at its root, may be complex, and as it relates to its complications. Okay. Diabetes at its roots.
1 second. I'm trying to get this. Forget
Name.
about the no name.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Maurice Hunt. I'm the president and founder of the Diabetes Awareness Project. Thank you for participating in this movement. Diabetes is a worldwide epidemic. In fact, every 7 seconds, someone dies from diabetes or its complications. Right here in the U.S., perhaps your neighbor, perhaps your grandmother, perhaps your aunt, perhaps your basketball coach. We all know someone who has diabetes. In the United States, 26 million people are affected by diabetes. Diabetes may be complicated, but it does affect everyone in our community. We started this movement because of my story. I'm a guy that grew up in rural North Carolina, physically fit, mentally able, went to play college basketball, then I went on to the military, served during the Iraq-Afghanistan war, again, mentally able, physically fit, and I have diabetes. In September 2011, I'm on the living room floor with no signs and symptoms. All of a sudden it hit me, I passed out, and unbeknownst to me, I have a 1,600 sugar level, fighting for my life for 7 days. And it is because of that experience, we started this movement. And again, this movement not only affects African Americans, not only does it affect minorities, but it affects all races, all genders.
Tell us about the Testimonial program, why it's so important, how we're going to achieve these goals.
The Testimonial program, what it does, it brings diabetes testing to all walks of life, all communities across the country. We have set out for this ambitious goal to test 1 million people across the world. We're going to go into the deepest corners of the earth, the deepest corners of urban America. We're going to go into the people where we're going to go to places where others may not go. That is why the Testimonial campaign is important.
Tell us a little bit about your 7-day fight for diabetes. What did the doctors think when they brought you into the emergency? Just give us the whole thing of it. There was a knock at the door, nobody answered.
Okay, you want me to tell
Bam.
the whole story?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, let me start all over. Diabetes affects people from all walks of life, including myself. Let me tell you my story. In September of 2011, there was a hard knock at the door, but no answer. Knock, 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 knock again, but no answer. There's a phone call. Ring, 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 ring. No answer. I hear the ring. Let me start all over. There's a phone call. Ring, 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 ring. No answer. Let me call again. Ring, 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 ring. No answer. What's the matter? I know he's in there. He's a young man. What's the matter? Why is he not coming to the door? I see his car in the yard. Why is this young man not coming to the door? Something has got to be wrong. Knock, knock, knock again. No answer. I run to the neighbor's house. Please, please, help, help, help. Call 911. Emergency medicines technicians arrive on the scene. They knock on the door. No answer. They peek through the blinds and say, oh, he's laid out on the floor. Well, does anyone have a key to get in the house? No, I don't. No one's there. Emergency technicians, they decide to knock on the glass and by the grace of God, they get my attention and they tell me to crawl on all fours to the door. Again, this is the mentally able, physically fit guy who served during Iraq, Afghanistan, who's been an athlete all his life. And now he's on all fours fighting for his life. So they rushed me to the Anne Arundel Medical Center. Wow, he has a 1,600 sugar level. Wow, he's gonna die. The doctor comes out to the emergency room and tells my family and other people's there in the emergency room, we never seen nothing like this. He has flatbush diabetes, or we don't know what it is. This is something that we've only seen in the textbooks. But and the doctors rush back and they try to. The doctors rush back and they try to say, okay, he's gonna live, but if he lives, he's gonna be a vegetable for the rest of his life because all the oxygen is shutting off from his brain. So there's no way that this guy's gonna live with a 1,600 sugar level. So I'm fighting for my life like Muhammad Ali for 7 days, struggling to even know my name, struggling to even use the restroom.
Where we pick up on?
I know. Struggling for
No hands in this one.
Okay. Struggling for my life for 7 days. The 7th day, the doctor comes in on the 7th day and says, you have type 2 diabetes. No way I can have type 2 diabetes. That's an old person's disease. I'm 26 years old. The doctor says, there's some changes that you're gonna have to make to your lifestyle because it is true. You do have type 2 diabetes. We've done all the tests and we've checked the list and checked it twice. And sorry, but you have type 2 diabetes. But here's the changes that you're gonna have to make to your life. With a little bit of exercise, with a little bit of dieting, and with a little bit of just being aware of your condition, this is something that you can overcome. Because not only do you struggle with this disease, this is something that affects many of Americans.
having pulled through this event, what kinds of events is the Diabetes Awareness Project going to use to get crowds of people out to get tested for diabetes?
Diabetes Awareness Project is not only going to test people, but we also going to be involved in the community. And one of the things, the many things that we're going to do to involve the community, we're going to have 3-on-3 basketball competitions. We're going to have soccer challenges. We're going to have concerts. We're going to have health fairs. We're going to get involved in the community, and we're going to bring the Diabetes Awareness Project right to the community.
Now this time, you're going to look directly at the camera. This is the PSA. Hi, I'm Maurice Hunt. Join me for the Testimonial program. X number of people have diabetes. Join me. For more information, call www.diabetesawarenessproject.org.
Hi, I'm Maurice Hunt, the president and founder of the Diabetes Awareness Project. Join me with the Test the Million campaign, where we go across the country and test people for this silent killer, what we call diabetes. For more information, please contact us at www.diabetesawareness.com. Again, that email address is www.diabetesawarenessproject.com. Thank you for joining this movement.
Okay, you're gonna do that again, but it's www.
I said just
You said two W.
Okay.
www.diabetesproject.org.
It's .org. Okay. And just do that part of the whole thing.
Do the whole thing.
Okay. Hi, my name is Maurice Hunt, the president and founder of the Diabetes Awareness Project. We're delightful and grateful that you're joining us in this Test the Million campaign. 26 million people are affected by diabetes in the United States and across this world. If you would like to know more information about the Diabetes Awareness Project, please visit us at our website at www.diabetesawarenessproject.org. Again, the email address is www.diabetesawarenessproject.org. Thank you for joining this movement.
I got one more question. I want you to go through the litany of diseases and complications that people have to look at these. You're going to say diabetes is called a silent killer. It's so dangerous because it causes bam.
Diabetes is a silent killer because it causes heart disease, kidney failure. In fact, diabetes is the #1 cause of kidney failure and the second cause of heart disease. It also causes amputations. It also causes glaucoma and eye disease and tooth loss and tooth damage and nephropathy. That's what you want to say?
Just a hit it, so. Hit it and quit.
Yeah.
Okay. From the top.
Okay. Diabetes is so dangerous and it's often called a silent killer because it affects many different parts of the body. Diabetes has its complications just simply because it constricts blood vessels and it constricts blood flow throughout the body. Because of this constriction of blood flow, it causes heart disease, kidney disease, stroke, causes eye disease, gum cancer, causes amputations. There's a number of complications that affect the community through diabetes.
Sarah? How much tape is that, Mom? 45 minutes off.
Ready? Ready?
Yes.
Ito po si Claire Garcesa. Andito po ako dahil ino-introduce ko po yung Diabetes Awareness Project. Kung pwede po gusto niyo sumali at suportahan niyo po ang itong Diabetes Awareness Project.
Thank you for joining our mission.
Salamat po sa inyong suporta at pagmamalasakit nitong mission. Yun po.
Very good.
Okay, could you say it in English for so we can translate?
Oh, hold on. I think you have to delete the whole thing.
No, just a little bit of what you were saying, because we'll put it up there, what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Tell us what you just said, but in English.
Okay.
Just sum it up.
Okay. Hi, my name is Claire Garcesa. I'm here to invite you to join the Diabetes Awareness Project. Once again, we thank you and we appreciate for your support.